One. All right. Welcome everybody to the Thursday night conversation. Shout out to WDAP Radio and WDAP TV. Shout out to David Allen and Angelita for giving us this great opportunity to do this on their radio platforms. Make sure if you have not subscribed, make sure you click subscribe now. All right, to the Mighty Oba. You can get all their shows, things of that nature on WDAP Radio, WDAP TV through Spreaker.com. You also can go on Twitch, YouTube, and obviously Facebook, where we do a lot of these shows. So first and foremost, I need to introduce some phenomenal people here. I got some phenomenal people. First and foremost, I would be amiss if I did not introduce this guy first. I mean, 21 Super Bowls, covering, being a pioneer for the sports journalist world in the 716 Western New York region and beyond. My guy, the Mighty Oba's in the house. Mighty Oba, what's up?
Hey, how are you? Pleasure to be here with you. Very kind words from you. I appreciate those.
Yeah, just got to keep it real. Always got to keep it real. Got to pay homage. And on top of that, I want to let you know right now that this guy has molded me into being the person that I've been as far as sports journalism is concerned. And with that being said, I have another guy who's really, really dope, phenomenal. I met this guy at my other job where I'm the general manager of Speedway. This guy is from Dudes Talk Sports Podcast. My guy Tanner Fowl is in the building. What's up, Tanner?
Nothing much. I'm excited to be here. Couldn't be more excited.
Absolutely. Now we need to get into some first and foremost NFL talk. I have a segment that I like to start off the show with, and it's called "Can I Kick It?" So I just want to know, can I kick it with you guys about what's going on as far as the NFL sports world is concerned? I want to get into a game that just happened a couple days ago where you had the Buffalo Bills and the Tennessee Titans in what was a Thriller in Manila type of atmosphere, fight feel, big fight, Monday night feel. I have to ask, Pat, you was around, you was there, you got to see it up close and personal. Explain the game to me and how it went down the way it did, please, for everybody that's watching.
It went back and forth. It was a great atmosphere. A lot of Bills fans down there, but there was a lot of Tennessee fans in the building. You had close to over 69,000 people in the stadium, and it just went back and forth. And I think what hurt the Bills the most was not converting on their red zone opportunities that they had. Kicking field goals in a game like that would hurt you in the long run. And that's basically what Coach McDermott talked about. He also talked about, a couple of things that happened during the course of the game. This was one of the games that our defense did not play well in there. They're ranked number 4. I think they're 4 or 5 in the league. But I raised a question with the 2 shutouts that this defense has. Man, look at the strength of the schedule of the Bills. They've played some pretty bad football teams. Houston is a bad football team. Washington's not a good football team, and Miami's not a good football team. Pittsburgh and I think Tennessee and Kansas City does have a very good offense, and I thought they did well against Kansas City. But the other games, I think, those are not good football teams. So whether or not this defense is as good as its current stats will remain to be seen. I think Coach McDermott did show some concerns about the defense's inability to stop Tennessee in the course of that game.
All right, Tanner, did you watch it Monday night? Did you watch Monday night? Did you see that game with the Bills and the Titans, sir?
Yeah, for sure. The problem I think was it just didn't seem like they could tackle Derrick Henry. I mean, I don't know many people that can, but the Bills are supposed to have a decent linebacking core with Milano and Edmonds, and they were struggling to tackle them in space, and it just stinks whenever you come down for a fourth down call when you've been moving the ball consistently all night, getting these chunk plays, and you decide to run a quarterback sneak against their best defensive lineman, Jeffrey Simmons. It just didn't seem like the correct call there on 4th and half a foot.
Yeah, I'm in total agreement with what's been said so far. I did not like the fourth quarter whatsoever with the Buffalo Bills. I did not like offensively the play calling at the end. I need to put this out there right now. This is the show to do it. While I got the Mighty Oba on here, Pat Freeman in the house, the Mighty Oba, and Tanner Fowl from Dudes Talking Sports podcast. I have to say this right now. If Buffalo don't stop trying to run quarterback design sneaks or quarterback runs out of bunch formation, I'm going to, by the way, I seen Brian Dabo in my store a couple days ago, and he was on the phone talking, and I really wanted to throw a quarter at the back of his head. Just to, you know, maybe if you hit him in the back of the head with the quarter, he'll give you all 4 quarters for once in his life. Because there's a time where you can see in every game where it seems like Brian Dabo has a hiccup when it comes to offensive play calling. So I want him to stop running these quarterback sneaks out of bunch formation. Because when you do that, you take away the running legs from the quarterback. In which on the play that you discussed with Jeffrey Simmons, he gets beat to the spot. Josh Allen got beat to the spot, and which is the reason why he slipped. A lot of people will say, well, he just slipped. No, he didn't. He got beat to the spot, and then he slips. Because, again, we're running quarterback sneaks in bunch formation. They tried it earlier in the game. It didn't work. They tried it against Pittsburgh. It didn't work. They tried it against Kansas City. It hasn't worked. When do you learn the definition of insanity and stay away from that definition? I mean, insanity is trying to do the same thing, trying to get a different result, but you keep getting the same result, but you keep trying. To me, at this point, it's kind of arrogant to keep trying to run those type of plays. Would you guys agree or disagree?
Well, you can't disagree because the play surely didn't work. But the other factor, too, is that Deion Dawkins and John Feliciano got blowed up on that play and looked like Josh slipped, and that was the end of it. He got no push whatsoever. You know, I don't disagree with going for it, and I can't disagree with you that maybe that was not the right play to run. I had the same conversation with Mookie Hawkins yesterday, is that, you know, from what we got in post game, he saw the play, and definitely the left side of the line got blowed up. And like, you know, Jeffrey Simmons is just a beast. I mean, I would have ran away from him. That was the guy not to run it, you know. But that was a very physical game. And if it works, you're great, but it did not work. And once again, you got to question some of Brian Daboll's fourth down calls.
Yeah, and I feel like with that game that Derrick Henry had, he put his name right into the MVP conversation with all those good quarterbacks.
Right. Another thing, too, on that particular, the 76-yard run, if you watch the replay, the gap integrity responsibility was Jordan Poyer. He got tackled on that play. They didn't call it, but there's still no excuse for him going 76 yards. Even with that obvious holding call not being called, there should have been somebody there to make the tackle, and that didn't happen. And you're not getting, once again, the Bills are not getting enough out of their defensive ends. And I'm sorry, I like Ed Oliver, but as the 9th overall pick, I expect some big-time plays. He's played okay, but not 9th overall pick okay in a draft and going into his 3rd or 4th year. I mean, you look for more from a guy that was picked that high in the draft, and I just don't think you're getting enough from your defensive line. And it's leaving your linebackers and your defensive backs more susceptible to big-time plays from a guy like Derrick Henry. And Derrick Henry had a great game against the Bills. Now, one stat you want to consider, Josh Allen has run the ball 44 times. Devin Singletary has only run the ball 60 times. And it's just bizarre to me why this guy he's just so against the running game. And why are you using your quarterback that much in the running game is beyond me. Yeah, Josh Allen's big. Yeah, he can run. But we all know that eventually those hits add up, and you can take a hit to get yourself seriously injured. I remember last year he almost got his knee caught up from under him, and he could have been seriously injured there. You're rolling the dice, allowing your quarterback to take that type of punishment.
Yeah, especially a quarterback that makes as much money as Josh Allen does, to have him running the ball more or just as much as your running backs doesn't make a whole lot of sense in the long-term health of the franchise.
Right.
Yeah, I totally agree. There's something else that needs to be talked about, but let's get to a couple of these comments. Again, Dabble is the issue with play calling, but it's being ignored because of the success of the team, said Willem Bombard. Dalton Smith is in ours. What's up, Dalton? I see you. James Davis said any Hall of Fame coach would have kicked the field goal. Willem Bombard says something needs to change, that coaches need to be able to challenge any play, whether it be above or below 2 minutes. There was 3 holds on that 75 yards to be just to keep it real.
I saw. I didn't see 3.
Lord have mercy, man.
But,
Lord, we didn't discuss it. People, how you doing? How you doing, Dr. Freeman? Good to see you again.
I'm doing good. Good to see you.
Likewise. Stop. Not you, sir. Stop making excuses for Josh Allen. Stop. I'm going to say it one more time. Stop making excuses for Josh Allen. Now, Dr. Freeman, you just said when you're the number 9 overall pick, there's certain expectations for you, correct? You just said that, right?
Absolutely.
Well, what's your expectations for the number 2 highest paid player in the league? What's your expectation for a player like that?
It's got to be high. It's got to be high.
Everybody's talking about the whole look. In every game, there are penalties that don't get cut. Every play, nearly you can call holding. Nearly every play there's holding. But let's get to the meat and potatoes. The bottom line on third down before the final play of the game, Josh Allen missed Emmanuel Sanders wide open in the back of the end zone. I got receipts.
Right.
Now,
you can't.
You're the second hard. Stop with the Derrick Henry run. There's holding on every play. I saw Ryan Tannehill get hit in the face on a helmet to helmet that wasn't called. It happens. The game, as long as the game is officiated by humans, there's going to be calls that are missed. The bottom line, though, is on the game could have been won. I don't have an issue with the 4th down play. I don't have a. They showed that they really couldn't stop Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry was starting to impose his will on the team. You want to know what would have happened if the game had went into overtime? Derrick Henry would have got about 10 more carries. That's what would have happened. That's what would have happened. They would have kept feeding him. And yes, Derrick Henry's a home run hitter. You hold him, 80 yards. You hold him, 40 yards. That's what he does. He breaks your will. That's why he is a throwback workhorse, Jim Brown, Walter Payton, Earl Campbell type back. That's what he is. But he's better. Than those guys because he's 260 pounds and he runs a 4.4. Okay? But back to the meat and potatoes. Josh Allen on the third down before the fourth down play, which I don't have a problem trying to go for the win. He missed a wide open Emmanuel Sanders in the back of the end zone. I know high school players that make that play. High school quarterbacks make that play. When I'm paying you when I'm paying you $43 million a year, you've got to make that play. You've got to make that play. You've got to make that play. You guys talk about, not you guys, people talk about Josh being in the MVP conversation. MVP, most valuable player. You think Lamar Jackson? Do you think he makes that play? Dak Prescott, Kyler Murray, Aaron Rodgers, think he makes that play on third down? They make that play.
Yeah, you gotta make it.
That's what it boiled down to. If he makes that play on third down, there's no need to go for it on fourth down because the damn game is over. Stop with the crap. Making excuses. I've never seen a guy get so many passes for making bad decisions. And every quarterback makes mistakes. I get it. There's no perfect player out there. But for $43 million, the second highest paid player in the league, you've got to make that play. You've got to make that play. You've got to make that play. You got to have it. So stop with the 72-yard run. Derrick Henry does that to everybody. He does that to everybody. Everybody remember when he threw Josh Norman into the bleachers last year? Does everybody remember that?
Oh yeah.
We don't. And the thing about it, that play was only 3 yards, but it's the physicality. Tacklers don't like seeing corners. 180-pound corner does not like seeing 250-pound running backs in the open field. That's what it boils down to. So they can make all the excuses they want. Just be lucky. You only see this guy. You only see this guy, and you'll get your chance. You'll get another chance, another crack at him probably in the playoffs. But here's the thing about it. Last year when he played the Titans, Ryan Tannehill carved you to pieces. This game, it was Derrick Henry. And that's what makes the Titans so hard to defend because you have to pick your poison. If you put 8 in the box against Derrick Henry, now you got Julio and A.J. Brown one-on-one on the outside. If you back everybody off, then Derrick Henry runs down your throat. Teams that are able to. That's why the Cowboys are so good. Because you got to pick your poison. That's why the Buccaneers are so good. If you load everybody in the box against Leonard Fournette, Tom Brady picks you apart with Antonio Brown and Mike Evans and Gronk and all of them. The problem with the Buffalo Bills has been a problem I've been saying for years. You don't have a consistent running game outside of your quarterback. We've seen in history when you keep running your quarterback, Cam Newton, with the Carolina Panthers, your quarterback is your best running back. That is not conducive to Cam Newton's 32 years old. His career is over because they ran him into the ground. If y'all don't find a running back, a workhorse type back, and I'm not talking Devin Singletary. I'm talking you better go somewhere and go find a good workhorse type back, because if you keep running Josh Allen, his career is going to be over by the time he's 32, just like Cam Newton.
But do you know how many yards Devin Singletary is averaging a carry?
I get that. I get that, Dr. Freeman. The bottom, but it's because he gets so few carries. If you give him
averaging 5 yards a carry,
that's because
he's only had 60 carries.
And that's the reason, Dr. Freeman. That's
Derrick Henry had.
Dr. Freeman, that's why he's averaging so much. Do you know that Tony Pollard averages more yards per carry than Ezekiel Elliott? That's because he doesn't get
him. You've got Zach Moss too. Zach Moss has 54 carries. You know how many carries Josh Allen has?
He's got a lot of carries. But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm agreeing with you. You cannot keep running Josh Allen, or he's going to be like Cam Newton. He's not going to be.
He's going to break down. He's going to break down. And for all those people out there that say give Devin Singletary, his body type reminds me a lot of Devontae Freeman. Everybody remember Devontae Freeman with the Falcons? He's about 205, 206 pounds. If you give him 25 carries, he'll break down. In the draft, I thought that the Buffalo Bills should have moved up. Now, this is where I believe that Brandon Beane missed, and he's done an exceptional job. I would have done whatever I needed to do to get in front of the Steelers and draft Najee Harris. You put Najee Harris on this team? You have Najee Harris on this team as presently constructed, you're nearly unbeatable. Right. If you don't want to jump up, you should jump up all the way that far. I'm jumping up in front and I'm drafting Javonte Williams, the kid out of North Carolina from this. We're going to see him tonight. If you're watching the Thursday, we're going to watch the Thursday night game. The kid out of North Carolina, he plays for the Broncos. He's built kind of like that. He's a sledgehammer with speed. But you basically got two backup running backs. It was two backup running backs. What you need to go do is go get you a franchise workhorse type back. Hell, if I were the Bills, I'd be calling the Broncos trying to see what they want for Melvin Gordon. What do you want for Melvin Gordon? I'll take the chance right now.
Come on now. Come on. Melvin Gordon.
If you put Melvin Gordon on this team,
stays hurt.
Oh, I'm saying a workhorse type back though, Dr. Freeman. Somebody that you can give the ball to 25 times a game. And there's not a lot of them out there. I'm calling the Steelers. What do you want for Kalen Ballage? What do you want for What do you want for Benny Snell? I'll take him off your hands, but you need an experienced back, not a Matt Breida who's a scat back. You need a bruising type experienced back that you can hand the ball off to 25 times a game that's going to close the show. That game should have been over right there. The problem with the Bills is their red zone scoring because you don't have a sledgehammer running back that can finish the job. They shouldn't have. That game should have been over. It should have been won on third down though. And Josh Allen, people don't want to hear this. Josh Allen blew it. Go back and look at the play. He blew it.
Yeah, that's the thing. The Bills have a backfield full of backup running backs.
Yeah.
Good change of pace guys, but none of those guys can be
the guy.
number one on an elite rushing attack.
Yep. Totally.
Yeah, like I know the Bucs are looking to trade Ronald Jones. I feel like he would fit well in the offense.
He needs to not. They can't get the guy on the field because of Leonard Fournette and Giovanni Bernard. This guy can't get on the field. I'd be caught. That's what you need. Those mid-season type trades at the trade deadline. Ronald Jones. I think Ronald Jones would. He just can't. Look, you got to look at the pedigree of Leonard Fournette. You're not going to beat out. Leonard Fournette was what, the 5th or 6th pick in the draft out of LSU?
Yeah, I think he was the number one high school player too.
Out of Louisiana, out of LSU. I'm trying to think of other backs. There's so many injured backs, right? You look at a lot of the top backs, they're injured. David Montgomery's out. Christian McCaffrey's out.
Barkley's out again.
Barkley out. Chris Carson from the Seahawks. It's
Cook is in and out.
It's tough out there. But to me, in this upcoming draft, I believe that the Bills, I believe that they're a workhorse back away. I really do, and that takes pressure off of Josh Allen having to run the ball so much. Because they continue to use him the way that they use him now, he's not going to make it. I see Cam Newton 2.0.
I don't disagree with you there.
So, yeah, that's what I see too. And if you have a good running back, it opens up your passing game. Last year, Stephon Diggs had 1,500 yards. I don't even think he's top 5 in receiving yards this year.
Right.
On my show, I put up the top 5 because teams are saying, you know what? We are not going to let Stephon Diggs. We're not going to let Stephon Diggs kill us like they did last year. You know, you see Sanders getting his. You see Dawson Knox getting his, kind of establishing himself. But they, you know, the trade deadline's coming up, and I'd like to see them, you know, be a little bit active in there. I'd like to see them be active. I like what the Bills are doing. They're putting together a good team, but there's, you know, just like there's no perfect team out there, but when you see certain issues and they keep coming up in game after game after game, you have to address those issues. Because you probably have to see the Titans again. You're going to probably have to see them again.
Yeah, even if they went out and got another running back, I don't know if they use him. They just seem like they're shying away from running the ball.
Well, Brian Dable is not the he has a tendency to get too caught up into Josh Allen's arm. And he did that. He did that against the Titans a couple of years ago down there. You're up by, I think they were up by 6 in the fourth quarter. He's still throwing the ball. And he just is never committed to the run.
Well, here's the other thing, Dr. Freeman. When you're the second highest paid player in the league and you're an elite quarterback, do you know what Dak Prescott does when he comes to the line of scrimmage and he does his pre-snap reads and he doesn't like to play? He audibles. Josh Allen at this stage in his career should have the flexibility to audible out of a play. You see something over there, you audible out. What are they going to do? Cut him? After just paying him?
Right.
They're gonna cut Josh Allen. Hey, coach, I saw something. You should have enough command of this offense that when you see something, when Dak Prescott pulls up to the line of scrimmage and he sees a play he doesn't like, it doesn't give a damn. He don't give a damn what Kellen Moore says. I'm checking out of this. When Aaron Rodgers comes up to the line of scrimmage and he sees something he don't like, he calls up out of it. Kyler Murray, all the elite quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson, they called out of it. So stop blaming Dable because your quarterback, if he's that guy, and the second highest paid, making $43 million a year, I'm giving him the flexibility and the autonomy to change the play.
Isn't that flexible?
Again, if I'm Josh Allen, what are you going to do? Cut me?
He's the offensive coordinator.
Okay, and I'm the starting quarterback that's on the field, and I see something. What are you going to do? Cut me? Suspend me?
But he's still the coordinator.
I've seen a lot of quarterbacks come. I don't give a damn what he's saying. Look, everybody's backed up. I'm about to run the ball. I'm checking to a run.
Well, we've seen that over the years. I don't disagree that being done, but Brian Dable is still the coordinator.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of quarterbacks. I think Josh did it a couple of times in the game Monday night. He did change the play. I know that. He does have that autonomy to do that. I mean, any starting quarterback, you see 8 guys in the box, and they calling a running play right into it, you better change that play, But something is, something's got to give. And I think
Dable's going to be
a better running back.
This is probably Dable's last year in Buffalo. I mean, for all you people that don't like him, don't worry. His time is coming to an end there because the league is always looking for. The league's always looking for the next hot shot coordinator. That's just what it is. Kellen Moore, he's gonna get some calls. Eric Bieniemy, he's gonna get some calls.
Byron Leftwich.
Brian Leftwich, he's going to get some calls, and Dabo, he's going to get some calls. That's just what it is. Every season, probably the first coach that's going to probably get fired is Matt Nagy. You want that job? You want the Chicago Bears job where you get to coach Justin Fields?
I wouldn't. That wouldn't be a bad thing. I mean, you got a decent defense.
You know
why they don't
decent aging defense.
I can't figure out. They should be doing a little better.
The Bills have a good team. They have a good team, but here, just like in any other sport, styles make fights. Styles, the know my facts. I just seeing it. Okay. Look, I watched the game, guy. I watched the game. Browns are going to beat the Broncos. Oh, wow. Okay. See, guys like you, I need you to come on my show because you be losing money and jerseys to me, guy. Bills defense, I like the Bills defense, but again, there's a couple of things on there. I still think that they need a number 2 cornerback. Do you agree with that, Dr. Freeman? I'm just not sold on the number 2 cornerback.
Oh, Levi Wallace.
I'm just not sold on him at number 2. And when you start facing the elite teams, you want Levi Wallace on Julio or AJ Brown, who Trey White will probably take the number 1. But when you have two 1A, 1B receivers, who do you put them on? When you're facing the elite teams at the end of the season, AFC Championship, Divisional Championship, AFC Championship, you're going to face teams that have, multiple receiver threats, and you gotta make some tough choices. And again, there's not a lot of teams like the Titans. You're not gonna, losing that game is. I mean, it hurts, but there's only one Tennessee Titans. There's only one Derrick Henry in the league. I mean, there's good running back, but there's only one Derrick Henry. So, you go back to the lab, you go back to the drawing board, and the next time you see him is like, we can't let this guy get loose,
I believe the Bills have the easiest schedule or the second easiest schedule for the rest of the season. So they're still on track to get the 1 seed.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But I would like to see some type of movement before the trade deadline. What do you guys think is the thing that's lacking as far as like personnel, not really scheming and tactics? What would you like to see at the trade deadline? Is there a name out there that you think about? You say, hey, if this guy's available, this is somebody who I'd like to see us go after. Is there anybody out there that y'all see that you would think that they would maybe want to go after?
It's hard to know who's really available and who teams are willing to get on the trading block with, but I feel like defensive line needs to be addressed on this team as well. I feel like that's kind of the glaring weakness on this defense.
Well, our starting our veteran defensive ends. I won't say starting because they rotate. You're just not getting enough production out of those positions, and you're paying over $20 million for 5 sacks. Come on, I mean,
yeah.
Mario Addison and Jerry have just gotten old. You're just not getting the production that you need. From those positions. Greg Rousseau is going to be okay, but he's a rookie,
Yeah.
And I would like to see Boogie Basham active. And I was a little, I question your first overall pick last year is AJ Espinoza, and he was not even active for the game. I mean, that's where you're going to need your production from these young up and coming players.
Yeah.
And I just question why you pick these guys. You must have had enough confidence in them to play. And for him not being active, especially with Man, when you got Derrick Henry, you like you said, you need
all hands on deck.
All hands on deck to stop.
You need beef. You need beef up front.
Yeah. Vernon Butler wasn't active either. So you know,
there's a name out there, and I know that for a fact they're shopping him. And I was talking to some of my Bills buddies about this. I got a name for you, and I wonder what you all think. Marlon Mack, running back, Indianapolis Colts. Marlon Mack.
Definitely don't hate it.
Marlon Mack, they've kind of shelved him. You know, they drafted Jonathan Taylor on third downs. They like to use Naheem Hines a lot, and I was like, Marlon Mack, this guy's a 1,200-yard rusher, I believe, a couple of years ago. They go out and draft Jonathan Taylor out of Wisconsin, and the guy is just not getting any carries. I think that's somebody who I would look at. He's got a little bit of pedigree, a couple of 1,000-yard seasons under his belt, and got a lot of tread on this. You know, got a lot of tread left. You know, he hasn't really had the opportunity to play since they've drafted Jonathan Taylor. I think that's somebody I would like to see. Maybe them get on the horn and talk to somebody about, see if they'd be interested in trading him. I could definitely.
I saw today the 49ers were interested in Marlon Mack.
They said 49ers, Kansas City, and Panthers.
Yeah.
But you never know. I mean, the Bills.
I mean, I'm just saying that's a name out there. I would definitely. I think he would fit very well. He's a north-south runner. Now he did have an injury a couple of years ago, but he seems to be over that injury. He's just not getting any playing time. You had mentioned Ronald Jones. I could see some. I'd be on the horn. Especially with Dawson Knox. I'd be on the horn talking to Tampa Bay. What you want for OJ Howard? What would you want for him? They're pretty loaded at tight end over there. OJ Howard, first round pick tight end out of Alabama. They play Gronk and Braid a lot. I like to see this guy with some extended playing time. I think him and Josh Allen could get a little chemistry going over there. I think I could definitely see something like that. There's as the trade deadline comes and people start, trying to, they kind of start seeing their season going up in smoke. It's like, what kind of contracts can we unload here and maybe, get something out there that could kind of help our team, So it'll be real interesting to see, what, an Odell Beckham Jr. I know he's a headache. Hey, come on over here. You don't have to be the guy. We'll put you on the other side of Steph Diggs. And then some teams are going to have to make some. They're going to have to make some, some choices about who they want to defend. I always believe in churning the bottom of your roster. If I can get better here or there to make my offense a little bit more explosive, I look at stuff like that. So James Washington, wide receiver out of Pittsburgh, kind of been disgruntled. Hey, Saints, when he comes off of IR, what you want from Michael Thomas? What would it take? I mean, it's like asking the pretty girl out to prom. All she can say is yes or no. She can say yes or no. That's it. You can slam the phone in my face, but I'm gonna make the call and see what you say. I'm going to make that call. I'm going to definitely make that call. What do you want?
Well, the high price guys, the Bills have a limited salary cap.
I got you.
That could be a
mitigating factor. Yeah. That's a mitigating factor, definitely.
But I agree with you. You always got to look at all possibilities.
I asked.
How do you get better?
I'll ask.
Is anybody sitting out there that can get me better? And if we can afford it, why not?
Yeah, I'm sure if Michael Thomas was willing to come, they could restructure some contracts to make it happen.
You get out of there. Geno Atkins, he's still out there. Big defensive tackle with the bench.
Somebody I'll be looking at.
Geno Atkins, I'm surprised somebody hasn't scooped him up yet. He's he's fresh. You're paying him for the third of the season's over, so his contract isn't going to be, if he's making $10 million a year and we're already in week 7, his contract isn't going to be that. Hey, you want to come over here? You played for the Bengals your whole career. You want to come over here and take a shot for a championship?
Why hasn't anybody signed him?
That's what I'm saying. I heard Patrick Peterson's making noise over with the Vikings, talking about he wants out of there.
He got banged up last week, right?
Yeah, he did.
I think some of these guys too. Guys, remember this. Guys always end up a little banged up around the trade deadline. What can I do to get the hell out of here? I'm not gonna tear myself up, and then I'm messed up, and then I can't be traded. What do you want for Patrick? You put Patrick Peterson on the other side of Trey White. The Vikings are going nowhere fast.
That's true.
Those are the calls. Those are the type of calls that I'm making. For those teams that are kind of out of it already. I would have been calling Jacksonville about C.J. Henderson. I was surprised that guy didn't get as much. A 23-year-old number 9 overall pick corner that hits the free market. There'll be some questions I'd have to have. Now, why is this guy available? But I'm making that call. Hey, just throwing it out there for giggles. What would you want? What would you want for this guy?
Well, that's not a bad move. I mean, that's what they pay those pro personnel guys to do, and I would bet that some of those conversations, like you're saying, are happening, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
that's the way the league works.
Yeah, no doubt about
it. Yourself, why not?
Especially those teams out there that are kind of, come on. Some of these teams, their season's over already. Yeah. It's like you want to start. I love garage sales, man.
Right. There's no sense in having Cody Ford sitting on the bench either.
Yeah.
I mean, see if there's any teams that want him, because obviously you benched him.
Dr. Freeman, Mitch Trubisky.
I've been trying to get rid of him.
I say this every week.
Yeah. I mean, I am shocked.
All of these quarterback
not gotten an offer for him.
These quarterback starved teams. You take a 2 or a 3 for Mitch Trubisky today?
Sure.
You still got Davis Webb. You just signed your franchise quarterback for the next 8 years.
Absolutely.
Let's not forget, Mitchell Trubisky's a former number 2 overall pick in the draft, and you got him for peanuts from the Bears.
Yeah,
he took the Bears to the playoffs.
Starting experience. So
starting experience. Washington football team, you couldn't use a Mitchell Trubisky.
Houston.
I think they like Davis Mills. I think they like him. I think they want more draft picks than they do. I think they want draft picks. Oh, Bill O'Brien, man, that guy, he did something bad to those guys. He did something bad to those guys. That guy, he ruined that team. He really did. They're going to get draft picks for Deshaun Watson. But I mean, for them, you bring in Mitchell Trubisky. If I can, I'll give you a 3rd round pick, because I'm about to. When I trade Deshaun Watson, I'm gonna have about 3 1s. I'll give up my 2 or 3. to get Mitch Trubisky. Hey man, look, we're gonna stink for a couple of years with all these draft picks. We're gonna build this team around you. There's some. I like to see a little bit of movement out there. But the game was a good game. You know, it was. I went back and I made some people mad, but overall I thought it was a good game. And sometimes it sucks. It sucks anytime you lose. It really sucks. But sometimes you learn a lot. You know, you start getting a little kind of feeling yourself a little bit, and you start, you know, cutting corners and stuff, and you know, not taking the coaching as much. And I think they'll come out better from this. I think they'll come out a little bit better from this.
Yeah, and I don't want to overreact to a week 6 loss. Like, the Bills still have just as good a chance as anybody in the AFC to come out of it.
Well, you look at the teams that are out there that you would you beat Kansas City already. So that's inspiring. You had a close game with the Titans. The Browns are struggling. Everybody thought the Steelers are struggling.
They're injured. The Browns.
They're injured. I mean, you may have to see the Ravens. The Ravens. We just saw the Chargers get their teeth kicked in before they went on their bye. You know, the whole AFC South is a disaster. Besides Tennessee. You know, I'm not really that impressed with the Colts. You know, so it's there for the taking, but you know, I just believe, you know, little tweaks here or there before the trade deadline. I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be just fine. But that running game, I need to see a little bit more productivity there. Y'all agree with that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
For sure.
You've got to be able to run the football in the NFL.
Especially at the end of the game.
Yes, sir.
You saw, look, the Buccaneers basically put the blueprint out on how to beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. You put heat on Mahomes and you run the football. Punish them at the end of the game with Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones and keep the ball away from Patrick Mahomes. You play keep away. That's what you do. So, you know, I would like to see, you know, like I said, a Marlon Mack or Ronald Jones. I'd like to see, you know, something like that out there that you know, you could, you know, the guys that might be available that aren't getting playing time, you know, a Kalen Ballage, a Benny Snell from the Steelers, would they be willing to give them up? You know, Najee Harris isn't coming off the field. He's not coming off the field. I thought Mark Ingram would have been a nice pickup. You know, is he still the same guy that he was a few years back? No, but in that system there, 15 carries for him with Josh Allen. You know, with Josh Allen over there, I thought that would have been a nice pickup. But
was a little disappointed in what I saw out of Le'Veon Bell. He looks.
He's not the same guy.
He couldn't turn the corner. I'm wondering if he's the same.
I really thought he would flourish with Kansas City. I really thought that he would. Now, I mean, he scored a touchdown last week. I think he's with the Ravens now. He scored a touchdown with them now. But they got like 20 running backs over there. They got Devontae Freeman and Latavius Murray and him.
We got the geriatric running back club over there.
Yeah, you know.
But he's still got, if he has a little bit left. You know,
well, he was a free agent. The Bills didn't think enough to bring him in. I think part of it too is the attitude. Let's not diminish that. You know, if you can't get along with Andy Reid, who's pretty much a player's coach and everybody loves him, and this guy gives you an opportunity after you were with the Jets, gives you an opportunity to go win a championship. And then they get you out of town. And you talk bad about the man. You talk about him like a dog. People look at stuff like that. You know, is that what you'll do to me when I say something that you don't like? You'll put me out there and put me on blast. And then we're starting to see like certain things that players have been talking about. John Gruden. You know, maybe Antonio Brown's not as crazy as we thought he was.
Right.
You know, you start seeing certain things. You know, what's done in the dark will eventually come to light. So you start seeing certain things, you know, and people kind of, okay, this guy here, he kind of, you know, maybe this guy's not as bad as what they thought, you know. So we will see.
Tell Andre I gotta go.
I'm about to get out of here. I don't because I'm about to get where you at, Dr. Freeman? You look like you in a hotel over there.
Yeah, I'm in Atlanta.
In Atlanta, what you got you handling some business out there?
I'm opening a food truck down here, Philly cheesesteak food truck. Yes, sir.
There you go.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck with that. We'll keep I watch your stuff and continued success, and we're watching you, rooting for you over there. Love to see the work that you do.
Appreciate
I check into your page. I check into your page all the time. Love the work you do and the mentoring and positivity that you put out there. Love it.
That's what it's about, brother. You guys are doing a great job, and you're
gonna have to come on my show when you get a chance. I gotta get you. I gotta get you. Me and Ramona were talking about. We got to get you on the Alphabets football show.
All right, let me know.
Friday nights.
All right, let's do that.
Sir. No problem, sir. You guys have a good one. Everybody out there, this is the Thursday night conversation. I don't know where Dre is, but I'm going to shut this down over here. Everybody have a good one. Enjoy the game tonight. And, be safe and take care, man.
All right. I'll see you.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care.